Good evening. It's the Board of Water Commissioners meeting for October 16th, 2013. Time is 6:35. We're getting a late start today. First order of business is to accept the minutes for 10/9/2013. And we had an opportunity to look at them. We're going to have, Carmen, can you go through it again and make a more thorough synopsis of the minutes of that meeting?
Sure.
And if you have any trouble, you can get help from John.
Sure.
And maybe I'll drop in next week and we'll go through that again. Okay? So we'll put that off till the next meeting. Is there any problem with that from the board? No? Okay. No. Purchase orders. Okay, we have a purchase order here for New England Waterworks for license renewal.
Yes.
Whose license?
Glenn.
What is it?
Glenn.
Glenn?
Yes.
And that's what, you go to a class?
Yeah. He's going to.
Okay. We have one here for E.J. Prescott. For an MJ adapter and an accessory package for a grip ring. And then the hydrant for Havel Street, that's $520.
No, that's just the description for what the PO was for.
Okay, so that's a total?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe,
We just put total.
you usually put a line across like that, John, you put a total like this.
Right.
So what on the hydrant repair, that's for Havel Street.
Right.
So all it cost us in parts was $520?
No,
Well,
plus the hydrant
The hydrant, yeah, that we had.
and labor and machinery.
Right.
These are basically fittings.
Those are fittings I didn't have in stock that were needed for the repair.
So how many hydrants we have in stock now? Okay, so why aren't we putting them on there for an emergency repair? Because if this happens again, we need to get on this faster than we got on last time.
Well, we can pick up on
So why don't we do it now so we can figure out that's part of the cost of going and giving this guy a bill? Wouldn't it make sense to have a hydrant on there?
Yeah, well, I was just addressing the bill that came with for that PO, the slip on the back.
Okay, so
Let me
there's going to be a separate hydrant
Yes.
that'll be coming in next meeting?
Have you ordered a new hydrant, John?
No, but I can.
So when you do the inventory, do you have so many hydrants we need in stock here for? How many hydrants we typically have in stock here?
It varies. I mean, there's usually one, but sometimes if a deal comes along, you might buy 4 or 5. Pretty expensive now.
Well, what do they cost?
$2,100.
Okay. So do we have money in the budget for that?
Obviously, money and maintenance,
Okay. Well, you feel comfortable not having one in stock, or
No.
should we order one and up right away?
All right.
Okay. Now, this is the payroll.
Yes,
When's this due?
tomorrow morning.
Now, is Dennis, how long is Dennis gonna be here? Is he gonna be here through,
Friday.
Friday is his last day for?
Friday's his last day. He said he could work the 21st and 22nd, but we had only put in for the 18th, so.
Can we use him?
Good. Guess we'd have to ask for an extension.
Well, if we have a use for him, I think we ought to do that.
Okay.
It's up to him. I don't know if he wants to work up until his vacation.
Oh, that's what he said to me.
How do you feel about that? Still,
The no man starts Monday, is that correct?
the following Monday.
The following Monday.
Yeah.
So therefore, if this gentleman wants to work a few more days, I would agree with that.
We need to start getting this thing back in order here. We're way behind on a lot of things, right, John?
Yep.
So I think I'll take a motion from the board to allow him to work if he's available for another 2 days, if he's available for that. Because that money is coming out of the line that we're paying that person anyway, and then there's nobody filling that secondary position until the gentleman comes in on the following Monday.
I'll make a motion that the part-time secondary operator can work 2 more days. That would be Monday and Tuesday, am I correct?
Yes.
If he's available.
If he's available.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So, you know, you gotta, Stu made the motion. I seconded it. When we voted, it was unanimous. Okay. All right, so. All right, pre and post abatement reviews.
Excuse me. On the 7th, you had one employee working on 3/4 overtime. Is that at the end of the day or in the evening, John?
Usually it's the end of the day.
What I'm saying and the gentleman was at the selectmen's meeting. This isn't overtime for that, is it?
No. No. If it was a call back, it would be 3 hours.
What was the overtime for?
I think they were still working on that station 310.
That was the day before the state came.
The state came, what, Tuesday and Wednesday?
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, he had to get some stuff prepared for that.
Okay. What's this one, Tim?
I believe that she's cashing in her vacation time at the last day, so I would say, John, have you checked in all her vacation time? Does that match what she's entitled to?
Yeah.
Where's that numbers, where are those numbers kept?
Usually she keeps an attendance.
Excuse me?
Usually she keeps an attendance sheet.
So she keeps an attendance sheet? So,
So,
what do? You keep an attendance sheet? How much vacation time do you got?
yeah, I believe I have 3 weeks.
I don't know anything about the vacation policy with town.
Yeah, the accountant usually issues a report periodically showing what time.
Okay, so
it is.
that's, the accountant looks at this and she says, okay, that's fine. Okay, so we approve it, it goes downtown, and then they check out the numbers and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Okay,
Oh, yeah. They check it over.
all right. So the checks and balances going forward, okay?
Yes.
All right. Post and pre and post abatement reviews. Okay, John, what's that all about?
This one I had was the Carapelli one. And I guess they had some leaking toilets. The water usage doesn't look very great. They were looking for an abatement on that.
Did he fix them promptly when he found them?
What was the discussion last meeting about that? Carafelli, was it?
I think we forwarded it to this one.
We what? We just didn't decide, or we moved it up to this one?
Yes.
Did you check things over, John?
Yeah, we sent it out there and did the data log. It was, at one point, something we could buy continuously. And,
Just one?
yeah, well, most of these.
Yeah, but this is the
are
day.
higher than
Okay, I know what you're saying now. As soon as he found out about it, he took care of it.
Yeah.
Made the repairs.
What's this number here?
504.
So that particular day, he used 504 gallons?
Yeah.
And every day he's right around here? Why is this thing different?
I believe they said they were away. Could have just been starting.
They're away, and this is their average in here.
Yeah.
So what is it, what kind of money, dollar amount does it constitute?
I just figured it roughly, trying to take an average of past usage,
Yeah.
and I come up with 56.15. But I didn't get a chance to or made up the
Can I look at this, please?
sure. Yeah. Ticket. Doesn't use a lot of water anyway. Which is the high almost.
What's this second number, 40.44?
Oh, I was just running different calculations.
I'll make a motion, we grant the abatement to the average
Usage.
usage.
And what's the dollar amount for that?
$56.15.
So it's
The
50,
average.
it's 56 off the bill?
It would be 56 off the bill.
Okay. Have you worked on any abatements? Or has Laura been doing all this? Okay. So who's gonna do the abatements next week when she's gone? Do you know how to do them, John? So how long
Can you
will-
get a form now? We'll look it over. Go back your abatement as much from the bill.
Is there a part on the computer that shows how to do the abatement? Or is that part of the billing program?
I think it's part of CDS.
So is she going to CVS and just change the amounts or note it? Not sure, I mean, just guessing.
Yeah, there's a ticket that prints out. They used to use these old cardboard, like building permit type things.
Yeah.
Now they just print out. There's no program.
So it's all part of the billing program. So if she wants to abate a particular customer, then this thing will spit out the abatement form, I'm assuming. But we really don't know, right?
Right,
So how will we find that out?
yes,
All right, so I make a motion that John asks Laura the procedure and protocol, what is necessary to generate an abatement form for us to certify. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So when you get the tape, you ought to just follow that verbiage in there to put that in the minutes, okay? You understand?
Okay, what was the result of Stu's motion to, on this abatement to pay the average amount? Was there any second to that?
Okay, so we gotta do a vote on that, so why don't we do the vote now? So Stewie made a motion to abate that customer for that particular bill due to a leak in a toilet, which he fixed promptly. And that follows our draft or interim abatement policy. The amount of $56.15 on this last bill. The dollar amount of that bill, John, what was that?
I think this was the last reading.
All right, so it looks like there was it 2 periods there?
You can just move on. Good call. You know, the leak. Like 801 to 927. That was 2 months. When I figured the average, I didn't use these two top numbers, I used the 170 hour monthly billing. And I swelled it up.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna vote on it, so.
Not the way-
I think I'm gonna withdraw the motion at this point. It just, you need to get that thing so we can see a bill. We're gonna look, what we need to do is we need to look at the bill. We need to look at the previous bills. And, okay? Unless you wanna open it up for discussion still.
I just felt where he fixed the leak promptly, the fairest thing to do is go with the average bill.
Okay. So, why don't we just move on? Look at the, I need to have something more clear, John. To put a dollar figure on it. I don't mind making a motion and accepting a motion for the average bill over the last bill, but I want to see what this bill is that prompted this request. Is that right in here? This, look at this. There's a job sheet. I got the meter reads and the graphs and everything, but there's no bill here. Okay, there's a whole bunch of that.
Bill history.
So you see this in 86 and there's a 90. You go down further, there's no 90s. Then you got 129, 121, 126. Then you get into the 3-month bills, you know, when you get down lower.
Right.
So when is that?
That's when it changes.
Okay, so it's from here up to this way. So it bumped up the last 2 bills, right? So if you presented it to me saying the last 2 bills were pumped up because of a leaky toilet, so this whole thing represents a leaky toilet. This was his older. You gotta, if you could show this to me, John, I gotta, yeah, this is his average written here. He was on vacation here. Then this thing bumped up a leaky toilet.
Right.
Right. We identified that he had a leaky toilet, he fixed it. Is he back down here now?
Yes.
Okay.
What's this one? What's that one that went way up?
Or it could be just daily usage.
So, when you explain it to me, you should say the last 2 months were a leaky toilet issue. And the customer requested us to look into it, and we found a leaky toilet issue, and then he fixed it promptly. He didn't wanna, you know,
Yeah.
he wanted to, you know, follow our recommendation.
Yep.
And it's the last 2 bills that we're discounting. And the discount amount is $53, which sounds reasonable to me. So I don't mind putting a dollar amount on that, but I don't want to explain it like that, John. I want you to do that if you could. So let's go with the motion for $56.15 on the Caffarelli bill, because his last 2 months had a leaky toilet. And the guys went out there, and as soon as he found out, he fixed it. Okay. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next one is lab procurement, compare various vendor costs. So how are we looking at it like that?
Well, we took the normal tests that we do.
And Ambro doesn't do a lot of these things anyway?
Some of them they don't.
Do they have prices for it though?
Yes. They have,
Why aren't there prices in here for inorganics?
the titles weren't the same. There's the price book.
Did you call them up and say, you know, we've got some gaps here, can you put these numbers together?
No, I was just going by that chart.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't you take this back? And let's fill out a table here. Let's make it all equal, normalize it. So HAA 5, you get Biomarine at 200, you get Neshoba at 125. Find out what HAA 5 is, and then call up AMRO and get a third price there for that test result. It might, it's in here, but it's, you gotta pull it out of there. Now, can you do that?
Yep.
In motion?
So moved.
Okay, so I'll hold on to this. You need this, John?
I think that's the one on here.
Okay.
I can make a copy.
No, I don't need that. I'll second that motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the second thing on that thing, I wanna know who does pickups.
Yeah.
So make another column here,
Amro picks up for $25.
pickup. Okay?
Bio doesn't pick up.
And I'll put pickup. No. Neshoba,
I don't think they do.
you need to call them up, so they pick it up.
Yeah.
AMRO, okay?
Yeah.
Do I have a second for that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we got 3 labs, they're all qualified,
Yeah.
certified in Massachusetts? Okay. So we can wait on that. The next order is Board of Selectmen request to share meeting minutes with Water Commission. Do they have a letter that they want us to follow or what?
Nope, they just send them over. File, I guess.
Please? All right, well, make sure you call them tomorrow and thank them.
Okay.
That would go, I believe, in the book for all our minutes, because it was a joint meeting. John, you know, we have a book here,
Minutes book.
yeah. So I believe that the book, Carmen, is all it's in there chronologically. So for that particular date, you put that into that book, okay? Is that what we do, John?
As a rule, yes.
Okay. Old business, Route 133 pavement repair.
I talked to the highway surveyor today and yesterday, and the price of the repair is pretty expensive. It's $29,000, and I don't think it's in the current budget.
That would have to be an article at the Springtown meeting.
Right. So I asked him if he was okay with that, and he said he was.
So he wants us to put an article together for the May town meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me an email on that? Your conversation with the highway surveyor,
Okay.
just so I can just keep that on record that we need to think about that. What we ought to do is have a list of articles. We're gonna start up articles, a list of articles. I think Laura used to do this. So is there a place we can put it on the wall, list of upcoming articles? Maybe we would have put a motion together that we have a tally sheet or a board that, you know, lists out the articles that we're going to be responsible for at the various meetings. just so when we come in here, we can look at it and say, okay, we already have an article planned for that, you know what I mean, John? And so we can either add to it or get rid of it based on a change in something, okay? But I think what we gotta do is make sure we have some ongoing list of things so we can just be sure that we don't miss an article, miss an opportunity to put an article forward, okay?
Speaking of articles, John, did you ever mention, excuse me, did you ever measure Fennel Drive? Excuse me?
I haven't got up there still.
We need to measure that, John, and we need to talk it over about an article for the Springtown meeting about closing that loop between Katy Avenue, Mansion Drive there and Central Street.
What would the loop, I can brief me on this.
Okay,
We have a.
they talked about it for years now. Off Kittery Avenue, you have a water line going to Mansion Drive up to the nursing home, okay?
Dead ends up there.
Right. So, that road down the foot of the hill there that goes out, comes Fennel Drive,
Yep.
all right? If you connected to that water line, went out Fennel Drive, connected to Central Street, you closed the loop. Then if you had an emergency or something, serious break, you shut one off and the water would come the other way.
So we have a public safety and health issue because we have
Exactly.
a nursing home up there, right? So, how long has this been put forward by anybody? So,
It's been discussed.
It's talked about it for years. Here's Mansion Drive, here's Central Street. At the foot of the hill, here's that Fennel Drive that goes out onto Central Street. So you connect here and here. So, if something happened on Kittery Avenue, the water from Central Street could come in and go up. Or Central Street, and the water would come in this way. All the loops you close, the better off you are.
well, that,
Get rid of this dead end.
well, that might be something that we have to put forward under a capital improvement plan.
Well,
Has that ever been done?
something we can talk about seriously.
Water main extensions.
We got the
Town
one,
sponsored, not since I've been here, but I know they did them in the old days.
You correct me if I'm wrong, I think one of the last ones they did. No, they've done them since then, excuse me, I was thinking down Route 1A, but they've done them since.
okay, so let's,
I'll find out.
can you, on this list, what you ought to try to do is, this,
I'll look at
if we get a board, John, get a board that you can use those erasable markers on and just, put pending articles for future town meetings. Let's put those two things on, okay? Abatement policy update. Has that been updated, John?
I re-edited it to one you marked up.
Okay, so we signed off on that one last weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. That one with the minutes?
Yes, it should be, yeah.
That should be with the minutes, when you do the minutes up. That should be included in the minutes. Okay? As a separate thing, Carmen, you'd say refer it to the attached. Put that in with the minutes. So when it goes in the book, it has that approval for that abatement policy, okay?
A separate attachment, not right in there.
You're gonna have your minutes,
Yeah,
you're gonna have your agenda,
yeah.
and you're gonna have the policy, all in one little area. You can describe it when you put in the, see attachment 1. See attachment 2, okay? In other words, up here, you'll say, see it, accept the minutes. You'll put in there too, see attachment, see agenda for attachment 1 or something like that, so you can kind of just make a 3-page thing on it, okay? So that, from here, this should be something we should consider to put into the bylaws, maybe?
Regulations?
Yeah, so we, every once in a while, we revise the regulations. So is there a tickle file for that? Okay. Next thing is the contract for John Hargraves. You know, budget discussion about that?
We do not have the money, there's only 5,000 left in the account.
Yeah. How do you want to handle that, John?
Well, he's saying 3,000 a month, so we've got another month anyway. Right?
Well, we're not sure how we're gonna pay for them, so.
John, we're running out of money, we have 5,000 left in the account. I understand what you're saying, another month anyway,
Yeah.
but you don't wanna use all the money up if we need them
Right.
down the road in another couple of months or whatever.
The only thing I can think of is that we have a couple of budgets that we're dealing with. Well, having a budget for the SRF,
Yeah.
we have a budget for the 1.3 million,
Yeah.
and we have our town-approved budget at town meeting last town meeting. Okay? Now, there's some categories in there that we could consider going into, but then I think one of the things is a selectman approval. So we have to look at these things, and before we go and request from the selectmen an avenue to come up with money to pay him, if we have to, I'm not sure we have to, we need to do some research. So what I would like to do is, I would like to get the breakdown of all the money spent on the SRF, all the money spent on the 1.3 million. And I know what the budget is because I helped Laura work on it, but I want those two breakdowns, okay? So we can look at that and we can decide whether or not some of those things that we put into that budget were, should have been put in some other budgets maybe, you know?
John, we need a copy, a sheet of the expenses so we know what's what. In other words, it called to my attention there was only $5,000 left on this account.
Mhm.
I believe he's been paid out of the wrong account.
Well, I'm not sure if he's paid out of the wrong account as much as we had things in that account that weren't supposed to be in that account to begin with still, so I'd like a motion that we have that breakdown sooner rather than later. You know, I'd like to get it by no later than next meeting, Tuesday night. I'd like to get that breakdown so we can go through it. and we can decide how we're gonna pay Mr. Hargraves, because now we're getting into a portion of the plant that's involving piping and everything else, so he needs to be on top of that. So do I have that motion, that I can get that information by next meeting?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
The clarification, I want,
We have,
no, go ahead.
go ahead.
I want all the expenditures that we used for the $1.3 million funding supporting the, this plant that we were gonna be building at the time. I want the SRF, which will be easy because that's pretty much broken down. You'll be able to get that thing really easy. We have the budget. We know from the $1.3 million budget. Something was put forward at a town meeting that described those expenditures. I want to look at that. And I want to look at the, I don't need to look at the treatment plant budget for the SRF, because I pretty much know that, okay? So when I look at that, I want to be able to make a judgment on what we should do as a board to pay for him. Discussion, Stu?
Here we are, we're paying for, basically, we're paying for 2 clerk of the works. One in the contract. And one working for us.
Yeah, I see that. I think that we're very happy with John Sikora's efforts and everything, but he is working for Weston and Sampson. And John is a real asset to it. And then John Hargraves is a real asset for us, you know. So I think we get the bases covered. I think that we're going to have a cost savings with this team. I don't think we can pay Mr. Hargraves SRF because I think that we have to go through Weston and Sampson, and that's the same situation. John would then be working for Weston and Sampson. Okay, so that's the way I see it. But we can get some more clarification on that when we have the figures, okay? Any more discussion? Okay. So that's due next meeting. Next meeting is Tuesday. The last item is a fire hydrant repair update. We've already covered that, but that needs to be, we need to get a hydrant to repair our supply, to replenish our supply. And we need to be able to figure out whether the town is gonna get this information, John, so they can put an insurance claim in their insurance company, because they may do all this other stuff to get cost recovery for us. If they might do the stuff that Carmine brought to our attention. The court offered restitution. The insurance company might do that. They get reimbursed for paying us the claim, okay? So in order to do the claim, what do we need? We need that bill for the hydrant that you haven't ordered yet, I believe. We need those pieces that are on the PO.
Well, I got the price.
So you need to get a,
You need a bill.
you need a bill. You need a bill from the police department for the police detail. There was only one guy out there, right? John? There's only one police officer out there, wasn't there? I remember just seeing one. Did you go out there, Stu?
Yes, it did.
How many did you see out there?
I saw one, I was checking.
Okay?
There's a few questions.
Well, I mean, how are we gonna figure out, excuse me, how are we gonna figure out our labor, you know? Now,
I put in the numbers that we usually use for labor
well,
charges.
you know something, John? You had to spend time over there. You had to get the police reports and stuff, so you should be putting some time in for that too, okay?
Okay.
So you get that, you get Glenn's time, you get Rob's time, you get, you know,
He does.
you got two
He does.
guys from the town
I got 4 minutes.
highway department down there. You got a truck, you know, you got a truck
The
and
truck and
One man from the highway, right?
there's two.
there was 2.
Two, okay.
And 2 of our guys.
Thought you had Dennis down there, and Glenn, and Rob.
But I just had to do stations, so.
Excuse me?
I say Dennis was doing stations, or excavating and cutting hydrant.
Right.
Okay, so you gotta put a thing in, you were out there on a certain date, you checked the thing, you put the bag over the top. Well, Rob did that. And then you gotta, you know, then you had to do some project management to get this thing done, you know? You had to dig safe the site, there's a cost there, so, you know, it's not just, you know, the couple of guys going out there for how many hours did they take to do it, 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what time did they start, what time did they finish?
I don't know exactly.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
you
it was
put-
after 8 o'clock.
Yeah, put it in there. How long do we have the police detail out there?
I would say at least 4 hours.
Okay. So you need to put that all together, so when you pass it downtown, it say, you know, I think, I just thought of this, you know, if we have an insurance policy for the towns too, you know, John, you should check up with this, with these people that know that this town, they handle the insurance with the town.
Check with Deputy tomorrow if you will.
If it goes into the insurance company as a claim, and they pay for it, then they gotta go after this guy
Exactly.
to go get the money,
Right.
whether it be this avenue or through the small claims court system,
Right.
okay? So,
Check. You correct me if I'm wrong, if a police officer's out there more than 4 hours, does it go to 8 hours?
Yeah.
You better check that, because if, say he was out there 4.5 hours, it would be 8 hours. Put that down on the expense.
okay. So I make a motion that John gets this thing together. I don't see a great need to get it done immediately, since without a workload, so I'd say 2 weeks.
That'd be good.
Well, sooner rather than later. The longer you let it go, the worse off you are.
So as soon as I can.
Well, all right. Is there any other issues we have?
I have a few questions. John, emails from the employees going to the selectmen. Gonna be doing that.
Yes,
It's an email going, you have to send it.
I'll address that.
Bent pipe on Central Street at the head of Central Street. On Cross Street, excuse me, on Central Street at the head of Cross Street. There's not been straightened yet. Can you take care of that?
You want a new one or just, is it?
We want
is
it
bad?
straight before somebody gets hurt. Down 600 and something Main Street, I'm not quite sure the exact number. There's a patch that has to be, some asphalt there. Has to be done. Can you get that done?
Yeah.
Shortly, it's getting colder, it will be. Okay. Builder's risk insurance. Weston Sampson dropped the ball, and John has slipped by you. The result of it is it cost $20,000. It should have been in the contract.
It's not covered by SRO.
I'm just saying it should have been in the contract. They got by you, and Weston Sampson dropped the ball. I mean, money Weston Sampson has been paid, they should be looking out for our interest. I mean, evidently, when you went over the plans, the contract slipped by you.
Everybody had a set of plans, all the way up to.
John, the other superintendent.
Well, I guess, you know, it's no excuse for that, but we don't have any of those situations pending. But if we did, I guess what we're trying to say, John, is we gotta be on top of that ball, okay? Because I think this came out of the, we gotta pay it out of the 1.3 million. That'd be something we gotta pay Hargraves off to completion of the project, you know? So that's when I wanna look at this. We paid, I think, you know, I wanna see that. In the 1.3 expenditures, I wanna see what was spent on that. I think it was that builder's risk insurance. So, I don't know if we can do anything about that now. Okay, so let's look at that. All right?
Okay.
A motion to adjourn?
Just thinking of looking here to see if I had any more questions.
Hold it.
I'm all set. I'll make the motion. We adjourn.
I'll second it. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.